my, you brought your death mother some flowers. A most kind gesture. Aw, they are even withering. You truly know your dom well. This journey of demise is brought to you by Parricide. Wait a moment. Were those flowers you gave me poisonous nightshade? How sweet of you.
Incoming Natos and Todd show.
The Deathscapades of Natos and Todd.
My sweet Joe.
Holy Tom, is that you? What can I, your humble servant, do? Please, show me the deathly way. Citizens of Necropoland, I had a vision and was visited by the Tether. Her deathfernal majesty wants us to partake of her blood. This Sunday, I will have the preparations complete for the ritual. Everyone must attend.
Let me guess. You want us to go this Sunday, huh?
Of course, Dro. I know you don't believe in Dodd, but isn't the skeptic in you at least a little curious if we will encounter her? Plus, Crematana will be there, I'm sure.
Whatever, Dro. For you, I'll go.
Well, Dello, there, your doliness. You seem awfully chipper today.
Why, yes, Tom. I have concocted the blood of the Tether. We will all commune with the great Death Mother soon.
Dolly D, I heard about that on the news. Unfortunately, I'll be heading out of town on Dundee and will miss it.
That will not do. Take these.
Gosh, that's awfully kind of you.
Hey, wasn't a real believer! Yes, it was a test. I know this true, Dodd.
The Deathscapades of Natos and Todd will return after these short messages.
Why did the Cain cross the road? Because he wanted to stone Abel to death. Diver, I'm the Deather. You're John and Todd.
Parricide refers to when a person kills a close relative, such as a parent or sibling. It comes from the Latin parras, meaning parent or ancestor, and hida, meaning kill. For your human interpretation, by estimations, approximately 500,000 people die each year by homicide. Parricide would be categorized as a subgroup of homicide and accounts for approximately 2 to 8% of these deaths, depending on the region. For example, in the United States, this percentage is noted to be closer to 2%. However, due to various issues including cultural stigmata, reporting and collecting data on such must be quite difficult for humans. This underscores a most problematic dilemma, does it not? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of manure. In the end, after all. Now, let us return to the Deathscapades of Natos and Todd show. Stay deathly out there, children.
The Deathscapades of Natos and Todd have returned.
I could be watching DNRia on the DV. I don't even believe in this dit.
I know, Todd. It'll be over before you know it. Hey, Primatana!
Hi, Natos. Hi, Todd. Are you excited about the dirt ceremony?
No.
Of course we are!
Awesome. Me too.
Want to sit next to us, Cree?
Sure thing, Natos.
Citizens, we partake in the blood of the Deather now. Drink. Death, drink it all up.
See, this is why I'm a ditheist.
I knew I was your chosen. I am your sacred beefy knight. This is the bliss. My death has been rewarded! Oh, what a bliss!
Don't forget to the like button.
Incoming death poetry.
The gift of life received, and without question, seraphic patience cajoles. Eyes of the older watch the dull. There exists no stronger love. Belief can lie, and so it does. A trowel cannot cut these knotted tethers. Exemplary, the depths of the pestilence in the marrow. Thoughts must breathe as the gift decays. Mine anemic synapses wither as memories fade. Thrice you shall die. Will you not remember to the subscribe button and the notification bell as well?
Incoming Deadtime story.
A kingdom of its own. It has been said that a child's mind is a kingdom of its own. It must doubly be true for an only child. Thomas spent many nights in his room playing with toy knights in the medieval world of his creation. The lands were vast in this realm. A gray castle stood tall, surrounded by quaint valleys and villages, blanketed in lush greenery. However, none dared to trek beyond the land past the gate of the Goblin King Grund. Not even his favorite knight, named Sir Tandrin, would venture there, and he was Thomas's most noble knight, clad in silver plates of armor, and rode the mighty mare Shadow. Occasionally, the kingdom would come under attack by the goblins. Despite the destruction of King Thomas's land by the goblin attacks, the kingdom always stood tall and would rebuild itself. You see, the Lady of Light graced King Thomas's land. The Lady of Light would aid King Thomas by providing a bounty of new territories and new knights when the ones of old were ravaged and slayed by the terrible Goblin King's army. King Thomas knew when the goblin raids would be conducted near the gate of the Goblin King's domain. On some nights, he could hear thunderous stomping and roaring, banter clacking beyond the threshold. He would hear the Lady of Light attempt to softly cajole Grund. This would work many times to prevent the onslaught of the Goblin King's rage. This was not one of those nights. The Goblin King slammed open the gate to enter Thomas's realm. The king was positioned at his castle and would pray for his knights to fend off the destructive evil. Alas, it always ended the same. Failure. On particularly destructive invasions like this one, the Goblin King would wound King Thomas. Grund threw one of his sabatons at King Thomas, injuring his eye. The Lady of Light cried out mercifully, but had to contend with the wrath of the angry Goblin King. King Thomas was in tears. He was grateful for the lady's blessing, but wished he was strong enough to protect her. There was so much devastation in his empire. The villages were ransacked, and so many knights were slaughtered. Sir Tandrin and his black steed Shadow, fortunately, were amongst the survivors. The king wept while holding the knight whose arm was inverted 180 degrees. Brave knight, thank you for fighting for your king. Thomas would often speak with his toys. "'Tis mine pleasure, as thy honor-bound knight, my liege," Sir Tandrin continued. "But my king, this turmoil has sullied the land for far too long. I have a plan, shouldst thou heed my counsel." "Gracious knight, please, speak freely." "Shadow and I shall venture beyond the Goblin's Gate into the Goblin King's dominion and slay this most foul demon. Laura, if I hear him in there talking to his toys one more time, so help me." "He's still a child, Greg. Please, take it easy on him. And what are we gonna say about his eye? You threw your shoe at him. If you hurt him one more time, I'm leaving." "You're not going anywhere unless I say so." Greg stood over Laura menacingly, clutching his fist. The next night, the kingdom was still tattered. But Sir Tandrin's words weighed heavily on the king. He planned to concoct a magic spell that would render the evil Goblin King paralyzed. In truth, King Thomas has entered Grun's realm previously past the Goblin Gate. Well, in reality, he was forced at times. He never wanted his kingdom to know this secret. The Goblin King had already won, and he was obsequious to Grun's demands. He stayed out of that heinous area as much as possible, though. You see, aside from conducting raids, Grun's seemingly only other pleasure was to feast and drink mead. Therein lay Sir Tandrin's plan, and it was time to commence the operation. King Thomas searched and examined his land. The time was nigh, but he couldn't find Sir Tandrin, who volunteered for the covert attack on the Goblin King. King Thomas was at a complete loss on what to do. However, suddenly the great Shadow emerged unmounted. Shadow sneered and galloped toward the king as if to guide him and bolster his courage, and said,
"We can do this, your highness."
"All right, brave Shadow, we shall slay Grund." The following is the translation for those who have lost the whimsy of childlike imagination. King Thomas brazenly mounted Shadow and bared open the Goblin Gate. Thomas opened his bedroom door after putting a black toy horse in his pocket. Fortunately, the Goblin King was fast asleep in his chambers. Greg was sleeping on the couch. He then headed for the Goblin Pantry and Alchemy Lab. He went to the kitchen and medicine cabinet. King Thomas concocted a spell with a mixture labeled potato color and poured the mixture into the goblin's mead. Thomas opened a bottle of potassium chloride and dumped all of the pills into his father's beer can. Sir Tandrin's plan was almost complete. It was at that moment that the goblin rose from his slumber, startling King Thomas. In an inebriated haze, Greg woke from napping, likely from alcohol's effects on the important REM sleep cycle. "You, get me some ice cream and more beer. You, get me more ice cream and... Wait, did you really need that one translated?" Thomas followed his instructions and was happy the tyrant goblin was too tired to get up from his lounging. He took the opportunity and poured the remainder of the potassium into his ice cream and beer and returned to his room. Thomas thanked his trusting shadow and slept with the toy horse clutched in his hands. If there is any fortune in this story, it could be said that Thomas was unaware of how chronic alcoholism can dampen the senses, including taste. 24 years later, Thomas was staring at a family photo on a stand that had memorabilia. He noticed a black horse toy and picked it up. Shortly after, his wife and 3 kids were rowdily entering the room. "I found it when we went through some old things we had in storage, dear."
Can I play with it, Daddy?
Thomas paused, while a wave of emotions overcame him. After some moments of reflection, he said, "Speak not to shadows, lest they answer back."
Incoming dance of death.
Incoming the Deathscapades tarot reading. If the Vanityphilic viewer would like an explanation of the details of the Deathscapades, do look back on the prior tarot video that details an explanation.
Dearest Holland, you have been chosen for tonight's tarot reading. Choose thy cards well, my sweet. Reflect on what your life essence craves, and what your death essence wishes to be released from as you make your selection. Ah, how intriguing. Your life energy is that of the 9 of Stones, and your death energy depicts the Hermit. Through much arduous effort, you have built a successful life. To enrich things further, stability is needed. We turn to the death energy card of the Hermit. In this reading, a warning ensues. You must avoid isolating yourself from this world. An erudite individual though you are, there are those like-minded. Now is the time to seek and be open to collaboration. How further might your body, mind, and spirit show us how to amalgamate these forces? With the Tower card, your body craves drastic change. It gives hints through occasional restless nights. With the Three of Stones, your mind is seeking teamwork, which is linked by what your death energy card, the Hermit, has shown. Truly magnificent, Holland. Now, onto your spiritual power.
Here are the current supporters who have come to the aid of the Death Mother. Doth mine decrepit eye sockets deceive me? An archangel of death hath descended upon this realm. Holland, your death mother, Valaria, welcomes you. Truly, you are a sight to behold, my sweet decaying right-hand reaper. Now, let us get to work. Come forth, whip of the dead. By our deathly decree, command the angels of death and spread the deathsage. Till next we commune, know this. The Death Mother smiles decrepitly upon you.